Hey dolls, I'm back with a bare face and I'm here to share with you guys my foundation highlighting and contouring routine. I'm getting started with my MAC Prep and Prime Base Lumiere. I love this product. I use it as an all-over face primer. And what it does is just creates a barrier between my skin and my foundation. So of course I'm going to use this over my entire face, focusing on my T-zone and all of the areas that get really oily quickly before I start to do my makeup. So I'm simply just going to fan this off so it can dry. And the next thing we're going to move into is our concealer. Now I generally do my concealer underneath my foundation as well as on top, not as light, but I do it underneath first. And I'm starting with LA Girl Pro Conceal in the color Fawn. I am going to highlight underneath the eye area, down the bridge of my nose, my forehead, along with my chin and my cupid's bow. Now ladies, you don't have to be really neat at this point because you're going to do a lot of blending, so this may look ultra sloppy, but it is the way that I achieve my foundation and highlight and contour look. Next, I'm going to go in with my e.l.f. Set and Mist spray, and what I do is spray my beauty blender so that way I can blend out this concealer. I like to use the beauty blender over a brush because it gives a more flawless look. Now, as you can notice, I'm not going in too close to the bottom lash line because I've already done my eyes. And generally I use the bottom lash line for last, but this time I did it first for sake of video purposes. So I am going to use a brush just to get a little bit more precise, closer to under my eye area after I blend out the bulk of this concealer. And this brush that I'm using is by Real Techniques. It is a concealer brush, and it's really good for this purpose for me. I don't use it really for anything else. Try to clean up underneath the eye there, and I'm going up the bridge of my nose and over my brows just to highlight a little bit in that area. Once again, I'm not being neat at this point whatsoever because it's a few more steps before I complete this look. Going back in with the Beauty Blender, I already have a prominent cupid's bow, but I like to highlight it again to make it look a little bit more prominent. So I'm just blending everything out. Next, I'm going in with my Black Opal foundation stick in the color Mocha Suede. And I'm just going to sloppily put these in my hollows of my cheeks as well as around my forehead. And I'm going to go in with an angle brush and do the bridge of my nose as well with this same foundation stick. And you can use a foundation brush or anything like that. I just choose to use the angle brush to get me a more precise line. Forgive me for going out of focus. The mirror is kind of next to my camera. I will get better with that. And I'm just carving out a nose shape that I want for this look. And I like to drag this up into my eyebrow, brow bone area. That way it just slenderizes the face. Not to worry, ladies, as I said before, this is just my first layer before my foundation touches my skin. So it doesn't have to be that neat. We just want to color correct and get our face the way we want it before we hit it with the foundation. So I'm going back in with my mist spray from e.l.f. in a precision blender. And I think I got this from Walgreens. And it looks like I'm punching myself in the face, just beating out that contour. Blend, 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 and blend some more. Going over all of the areas that I just contoured. Again, this is going to look relatively harsh right now, but trust me, I am going to make this face beat down flawless. Again, hitting down the bridge of the nose, of course. You definitely don't want to leave any harsh lines right here because then you'll look like an etched out cartoon character. So you definitely want to blend, blend, blend. Now, yeah, extremely, extremely too harsh, but let's move on. The next thing I'm doing is picking up my L'Oreal True Match in the color C8. I'm putting a little dab on the back of my hand, and it looks like this. That's a little bit too much. And I'm going to also add a little bit of my Revlon Photo Ready. It has more of a red undertone, which I need to match with this foundation to blend well. I'm picking up one of my brushes from Coastal Scents, and I'm going to buff this foundation in all over the highlighting and the contouring that I've just done. Now, as you can see, I used a relative large amount, but I'm going to use this to blend it throughout my entire face. Probably go back in once on the back of my hand, but you really don't need a lot of foundation. This is a great way to save your foundation if you like highlighting and contouring. You use much less product when it comes to foundation if you highlight and contour first. As you can see, I still had that much on the back of my hand. So I am stippling this foundation in my face, and I'm going to continue to dab it in. Keep blending and keep blending until you get that even, flawless look. Okay, now we have our foundation added on. I'm going to go back in once again with a small amount of the same concealer, very lightly, just to lighten up softly. We don't want to go down the entire nose, just a little smidget down the nose. Okay, we're going back in with the same beauty blenders, and we're going to just buff that out. I do have moles on my skin, so I wear a heavier layer of foundation to cover them up. But of course, makeup is just beauty deep. It's whatever you make of it, and I prefer to be a cake face. Okay, so I'm going to just continue to blend that out, of course, down the nose as well. I'm going to touch up again, just slightly, that contour line with the same foundation stick. Notice that I'm using two different blenders each time because I don't want the light and the dark to mix on my beauty blender. You girls know how it is washing these things out. It's such a headache. Now what I want to do is start using my powders. I need to set everything in. And I'm going to start with my Ben Nye banana powder to set all the concealer underneath my eye. And I like to use a large foundation brush, a flat brush. I find that between this type of brush and the cosmetic wedge sponges, they work the best with setting my under eye concealer and not leaving any type of caked up look. So I'm blowing off the excess and I'm setting it in the same Kim K V shape that we put the concealer down. I'm also going to set down the bridge of my nose with this same Ben Nye powder. As well as my chin and my cupid's bow. Bringing it up and over the bridge of my eyebrows and my forehead. Okay, and I'm just going to let that sit. I usually let my Ben Nye powder sit for a couple minutes before I sweep it away. So I'm going to continue on with the face while we let that sit there. No worries. Next, I'm going to go in with some powders to set my contour. And I'm going to start with the Black Radiance powder. And this is a really dark powder, so I use this first with my fluffy brush, my favorite one from Coastal Scents. It's the travel size. And I just set everywhere I contoured. And don't forget your jawline as well. You can hide some of that double chin effect if you have it like me. Okay, now that again is a little bit too harsh, so I want to soften up that powdered look and get that contoured looking more flesh toned. So I'm going in with my Makeover Essentials, and this is my bronzing palette quad. I'm going to use those two colors, and I'm just going to go over the dark contour that I just did with these lighter colors to soften the look up. Be careful when highlighting and contouring, depending on your face shape and the products that you use. You definitely don't want to come off too heavy. Next, I'm going in with another bronzer from my travel size Sephora kit, and I'm almost hitting pan with this, but I really love this bronzer. I like to go softly over the contour, as well as the Black Radiance powder and the other two powders that I just put on, just lightly. Now I'm going to sweep away the powder from the Ben Nye under my eyes, on my chin, down the bridge of my nose, my cupid's bow, and my forehead. Blending everything in flawlessly. Now ladies, this is not your everyday makeup look if you don't like to wear a lot of makeup, but I prefer to have a full face every day. Next, I'm going in with my Terra bronzer. It's by Miljo, and I'm using another Real Techniques buffing brush just to use this as a blush. I didn't want to have a strong blush color, so I'm using another type of bronzing powder, but this is a terracotta color, so it would appear as if it's a blush color. Now we're almost done. I just want to set everything in, and I'm using my MAC Mineralized Skin Finish in the color Deep Dark. I use this every single day. I find that it looks really natural. Picking up another Real Techniques, I believe this is a stippling brush, and I'm just going over everything with this powder. This gives you a natural finish. I have oily skin, so I do not like to look dewy. I really prefer to look matte for however long it lasts. And I'm just smoothly buffing that in all over the face. Now I want to give myself some bottom lashes. I usually do that after I do my powders because we don't want anything to stick into your concealer. So just be pretty careful at this point. So we have finished the face. Let's do something with these lips. I am using my Maybelline in the color Raspberry Ablaze. And I really like this color. The eyes are soft green, and that's out of my Coastal Scents. I'm going to take my ponytail out, and I will give you guys a full look on how my makeup comes out once I'm done. Forgive the light change. But this is what it looks like. This is my full face flawless beat highlighting contour routine. So I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope I was able to help you. And yeah, let me give you a closer view. There's that bronzer. Here are my lips. And that contour is ever so slightly done. Thanks for watching. Bye.